Hello there, folks. Good evening. I hope all of y'all are doing just wonderful tonight. I really do. I really do hope that. What it do, man? What it do? What it do? How it be? What it is? I'll let Chair entertain you guys for a second while I go grab something to drink. Let people come in. Okay. Whoa. Someone took your potatoes? Oh, fuck that person. Fuck that person for taking your potatoes. What a bunch of assholes. Yeah, chair's gone for the night. Is TJ streaming? No, I guess he did a stream earlier. I guess TJ did one of his streams earlier. That would explain why so few people have showed up tonight, because most of you probably already watched some TJ on this channel. Ooh. Why am I up so late? I was doing some writing and got on a roll and just I don't know where this Ashley is preggers bullshit came from. How do I deal with depression? I just wade my way through it, man. Hello, Audio Warhol. Like Bob Marley? Yeah. Yeah, I like some Bob Marley. I'm into it. Should you fuck an ugly bitch to get laid? Or should you wait for the right girl? What if the right girl is an ugly bitch? Think about that. Plus, depending on what you're bringing to the table, like, that may be what you can pull, man. That may be what you can pull. Will you ever do a full reading of the ping pong ball joke as its own designated video? Dude, I don't know. Dude. The ping pong ball joke is best done with an audience, because like a live audience too. Because like that's part of it. You got to get that. You got to get people's reactions live. You know, because typically when you're telling a joke like that, you've got a captive audience. If I put that as a YouTube video, you can't find it. It's not out there, man. It's not a joke that you're gonna find on a website somewhere. It's its own fucking joke. It's an original, okay? It's an original. But you know, when people can just turn off the video, you can't really troll people. You don't have that captive audience, you know? People just go, well, fuck this joke, I don't give a fuck. But in person, people are almost forced to commit to the end of the joke. And once you've gone a certain distance with it, people feel obligated to finish it. One of those things. Is there a film you like the concept of but hate the execution? I run into movies like that. Like the concept of but hate the execution. I'm having trouble thinking of one right off the top of my head. Hated the execution, liked the concept. Well, I'm sure I've run into a lot of movies that fit that category, but I can't seem to think of a recent one. Star Wars is a great concept with poor execution. I don't know about that. I don't know that I can agree with that. I hope you... Oh, yeah, man. It's not going to be much of a vacation for me, but, you know, I'll be working. I'll be working with TJ on side stuff. We got another movie review that is soon to drop. I'm getting started filming on my new channel tomorrow. So, that's pretty cool. As someone has to do a lot of presentations for school, do you have any advice for giving a good performance? Try to focus on a couple of different points at the back of the room. This saves you from having to make eye contact, which can freeze people up during presentations and stuff. I mean, if you're comfortable with eye contact, go ahead, but I know a lot of people that are uncomfortable giving presentations are often unnerved by eye contact from the audience. You can get around that and still have the audience feel like you're looking at them and engaging them by simply just kind of looking at some points on the back wall and moving your head around. You know, moving between those points at different intervals can keep you from kind of noticing the people that are in there. Beyond that, you know, presentations are often things that people don't want to be sitting through, so try and be brief and to the point, to whatever extent that you're allowed to. I don't know if it's a class project or a work thing or whatever. I tune in to hear my new channel tomorrow. New channel, yeah. I'm starting kind of a movie review channel, I guess. I was gonna have this channel that was more focused on just horror movies and that kind of theme, but I felt like I was limiting myself a bit much, just going with horror. And I also feel like one of my favorite things in the world to do is to sit down and watch movies and then pick them apart and find out what was good about them, find out what was bad about them. So that's what I'll be doing. Certainly not a unique concept, but should be fun. I'll be doing anything I watch, I want to review. Basically, once I get this channel up and running full steam, any film that I watch is going to be reviewed, probably, in some way, shape, or form. And I watch movies all the time. I watch at least, I'd say conservatively, 3 or 4 movies a week. It's just one of my favorite pastimes, so... yeah, I'll be all over the map. Be doing a review of Wonder Woman. I went and saw that with Ashley yesterday. I've got that written out. I'm reviewing. I'm going to be filming 4 reviews tomorrow. These are going to be like short form reviews. I'm not going to give these long, intricate teardowns of films unless one comes along that I really, really want to examine. But for the most part, I want to try and get in and give people a good idea of how I felt about the movie, what the salient points were, without getting trapped in that, like, here's the plot of the film shit. If I have to explain part of the plot of the film, I'll do it as quickly as I possibly can, but I'm not really looking to... give people a rundown of everything that happens in the film, or even a rundown of the arc of the plot of the film. I want to tell people what works about the film and what doesn't, what I liked and what I didn't, and whether or not I think they should watch it. I haven't settled 100% on a name yet, but more than likely that will be settled very soon. Have a spoiler-free section at the start. Oh man, it's a tough subject, but I'm just, if I'm gonna say something that's extra spoilery, I'm just gonna warn people to go ahead and pause their shit. I'm not gonna worry too much about fucking spoilers. If I do, then it makes it almost impossible to actually review the movie if I'm afraid of talking about salient plot points, especially ones that either work really well or don't work. So, I figure people that are really looking to go into a movie with absolutely no idea what to expect are probably not going to be watching reviews of that movie before they see it. So, we were talking with a Nazi for about 2 hours in the Discord voice chat. Luis went nuts. Okay. John Carpenter's The Thing versus Ridley Scott's Alien. Which one is better? I think that John Carpenter's The Thing probably has the better creature effects out of the two, although that's saying a lot. There were a lot of really iconic practical creature effects in Alien, but I think The Thing's practical effects stand out a little more than Alien's. I like Alien better atmospherically speaking. I really like the feeling of constant dread that Alien manages to maintain. The Thing maintains a similar atmosphere, but I don't think quite as good as Alien does. So, which one is better? I don't know. Depends on what the criteria are, I guess. I like Alien a little better than The Thing. Tell you how to write a Hamlet essay for English class? Well, what's the topic? You just have to write like a book report or some shit, like a report on Hamlet, or is there a subtopic? Have I ever seen Nosferatu? Yes, the original. I also really like Shadow of the Vampire, which is a movie made in the 90s about the making of Nosferatu that kind of blends fantasy and reality. It's really good. Best vampire movie? That's a tough one. Sometimes there's really good vampires that are wrapped in kind of a shitty movie. Example, Bram Stoker's Dracula, right? I think that Gary Oldman's portrayal of Dracula is one of the best in movies. You know, maybe excluding Bela Lugosi's kind of iconic original. From Dusk Till Dawn is great, although the vampires don't really have much about them. You know, they don't really have that mystique. They're just kind of zombies. They're one of the, you know, big horde of things that's after people. I really liked the vampire concept. Fuck, what was the name of that movie? Fuck. Okay, maybe one of you guys will remember it. There's a vampire movie where it's about a town in Alaska where, you know, in Alaska there are like months where there's no light. The sun doesn't come up, and this crazy group of vampires like sails this 30 days of night. Thank you. Yeah, that's what it was. The movie itself is not super great, but I really liked the vampires in it. I thought they were done really, really well. I thought they were really like scary reimaginings of the vampire. Yeah, I really found myself enjoying that movie, even if I didn't like it. Like every aspect of it, the vampires really saved it for me. Blade isn't shit, man. Why is Blade shit? I mean, some of the later Blade movies are shit, but Blade 1 and 2 are competent action films with pretty cool vampire concepts in them. They started to fall off, you know, a little later in the series. Think that vampires will ever be cool again in a modern film? Sure. Interview with a Vampire is another good one to mention. Pretty cool portrayal of vampires in that one. Like every sequel. Maybe not every sequel, but most sequels. Did you ever see Daylight? I don't believe I have seen Daylight yet. Do I think Marvel should remake Blade? I don't know. I tend to err on the side of no remake almost every time. Because I just want to see more new shit out of Hollywood. I'm tired of kind of seeing their reimagining of this franchise or that franchise, their reboots and their constant fucking, you know, need to hit that nostalgia button over and over and over again and keep people watching. I'd rather see them do the hard work of coming up with some new IPs, putting out some new fucking movies. But I do think that the Blade franchise could possibly be rebooted or something down the line a piece and made into a pretty cool flick. I think Blade should just be in a Marvel movie. One-off movies get played. Yeah. Let Me In was good. I liked Let the Right One In better than Let Me In. I just thought it was a much like more moody, atmospheric, kind of tense film than Let Me In was. Reboots tend to be money grabbing and turn out shit. Sometimes they do. Most of the time, maybe. How do you deal with fundamentalist parents? I have no idea, dude. I didn't have fundamentalist parents, so. Do I still produce any monologue political rant style vids? Not really. No, I do most of my political ranting on the Drunken Peasants now. It's an unintentionally silly movie. How so, dude? Is there a movie you would like to remake? What would it be? Mine would be Dark City. Why would you want to remake Dark City, man? The only thing that would make me want to remake Dark City is hopefully recasting Kiefer Sutherland, because I don't know what he was doing with his performance of that doctor in that film, but it was just it stuck out like a sore thumb, and not in a good way, man. But the rest of that movie is so fucking cool. I think I'd like to remake Dune. As loath as I am to, take a brilliant director's movie and remake it, I think that Dune could be redone and made into maybe a trilogy of films that would be really cool. Big Trouble in Little China sequel. Well, this here's the Pork Chop Express, and let me tell you what, when old Jackie boy here gets in the rain, you know what he does? He puts the pedal to the metal, pal, 'cause that's the only way I know how to be. I don't know, man. What would you do with a Big Trouble in Little China fucking sequel, dude? I guess fucking Lopan comes back or some shit, and I'm tired of horror movies that are just jump scares. I mean, yeah, I can see that. They are a little tiresome. I don't mind jump scares when they're used in horror movies, but if that's all it is, then yeah. Favorite Pink Guy song? I like Trap Dumplings. Found footage horror films piss me off. Why? And I mean, it's just a new kind of. I mean, not new. I guess new to me, but it's been around for a while. The found footage genre and shit. Like, I don't mind it. I don't mind it when it's used well. I just kind of hate that all kinds of movies are starting to use that found footage look, that handheld camera, shaky cam shit. The only movie that I've ever seen that I thought a couple of the movies that I thought used that handheld shaky cam shit to good effect. Saving Private Ryan and Children of Men used a lot of that shit in their action sequences, but I thought it actually informed the action sequences. Most of the time it just makes me feel fucking motion sick. You would remake Akira or make a live action JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I wouldn't want to remake Akira, man. I'm kind of dreading that live action reboot of Akira. I know it's coming. I'm positive it's coming. What about Cloverfield? I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was an interesting look at like the giant monster genre from a more intimate perspective, but I don't really know that it's something that you could do a sequel to. Watching me dig at my arm. Yeah, dude, I had an itch, dude. I had an armpit itch, man. I don't know that I've been indoctrinated into weeb culture, although I've softened a little bit on weebs, I think, dating one. That's just kind of natural. Cloverfield has a sequel. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not really a sequel. Favorite slasher villain? I like Freddy. Freddy is, I think, the coolest concept. The other slasher guys, not to denigrate them, but they're just kind of big, dumb mental patients in masks. Freddy's like, he's in your dreams, man. He's a real monster. That's kind of cool. Does Alien count as a slasher villain? I wouldn't call Alien a slasher villain. The original Alien is basically like a haunted house in space. Think of it that way. That's basically what it is. It's a haunted house movie, but in space. That's a little different than a slasher film. The vibe is a little different. movie featured where Brett is the monster. Yeah. Matinee. There's theories to the Cloverfield universe. They're building up to something. That's cool. Yeah, Alien 1 is a great film. I wouldn't want to call it something stupid like Rise of the Manatees, though, dude. Just call it Matinee. The tagline could be, "We have a situation." Jaws. See the new trailer for the animated Castlevania movie? I don't think so. Magic Mike with Brett Keane, Manatees. Oh god, dude. Oh god. Yeah, dude. Jaws wouldn't work as a manatee movie because Jaws has to have teeth to bite things. You think of a good horror movie that has come out in the last 5 years that is not a sequel? Sure, man. Neon Demon. Fuck, man. I've watched quite a few really interesting horror movies. I actually really liked. People probably give me shit for this, but I watched it recently. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie called The Visit. I liked it. It was very M. Night Shyamalan, complete with the twist. But the movie was spooky. And effective. So you just have to kind of like... You have to be willing to look outside of what comes out in the theaters to find good horror movies. A lot of times. You have to be willing to kind of dig around... through Netflix and watch movies that maybe aren't that popular. Maybe people even rated poorly. You'll find some good movies. This one wasn't rated poorly, but It Follows, I really enjoyed. That came out in the last few years, not a sequel. The Witch, I really enjoyed. That came out in the last few years, not a sequel. There's The Babadook, yeah, another good one. Insidious. I always get Insidious mixed up with another one that has a similar title, but I think that Insidious is the one with the red demon guy, right? I liked that movie until the end, when the dude had to go... Yeah, Sinister. There you go. I always get Sinister mixed up with Insidious, but I think I'm thinking about the right one. I liked Insidious until he had to go into the fucking dream world or the psychic world or whatever the fuck. I just thought that kind of ruined it for me. Hush was good too. Really tense. They did a really good job with the sound design in that movie. The main character being deaf was used to great effect. Gave you a week of movies, yeah, man. There you go. Fell asleep on Hush. It's a slow burner. Thoughts on Nine Inch Nails' The Fragile. It's my personal favorite of Trent's. It's not my personal favorite, but I really like it. The Fragile gets a lot of flack amongst Nine Inch Nails fans, especially those that are really married to the earlier albums, but I really liked it. Oh, that's a good album. Pretty Hate Machine is my favorite by Nine Inch Nails. The manatee can be the monster of the Mississippi mud hole. Yeah, dude. He gorms all that comes near. A horror movie about a psycho who stalks and kills employees because they didn't deliver his couch on time. That sounds pretty good. I've lost, in total, over 60 pounds and a little over 20 pounds since I started the workout challenge. Gorms. Congrats on the weight loss. Yeah, dude. I haven't heard the new Linkin Park album. Most hard to watch movie? That depends, man. It's like you're talking about just like gross out factor. I couldn't hang with a Serbian film. It was just like gore porn. So I guess that one was kind of hard to watch. Some movies are hard to watch without being gross. There's a movie called Happiness. That's basically, the movie is basically the opposite of its title. It's just this long, depressive meditation on the futility of life and the ugliness of loss. And it's just like, did you think that Netflix it's not making a movie, it's making a TV series based on the Dark Crystal mythology, which is kind of cool. You dropped 5 stone. That's cool. Congrats, man. Yeah, it's a series. It's like a TV series. Suicide Squad wasn't that bad. I'd watch it over Aliens any day. Great bait, mate. I'd rate it 8 out of 8. Not gonna take that bait tonight, though. I'm too stoned and too tired. Do you guys still play Star Trek online? Because I'm always the only one ever online in the fleet. It's been a while since I've logged in, but yeah, we still play. I know Ben still plays from time to time as well. What game would you like to see them adapt into a movie? I think Dead Space would be a really good flick. I thought that the first time I played through the first Dead Space, I was like, man, this would be a kick-ass fucking movie. Nah, dude, I wouldn't want to see them fuck up Red Dead Redemption. No thanks. There's an animated Dead Space movie, I'm aware. I'm talking about a live action, big budget, blockbuster, you know. The Last of Us would be the best movie and a competent director. Yeah, maybe. One of the advantages of narrative-based movies like L.A. Noire is another one that somebody just mentioned here, like The Last of Us, is that they have this immense amount of time to unfold their story over. What you're basically doing when you take a game like that and put it into a 2-hour film is hit the fast forward button on it. And I don't really imagine that you could hit the fast forward button on The Last of Us and have it still come out as impactful. One of the reasons why that story is so memorable and affecting is because you spend so much time with those characters over the course of your 8, 9, 10, 12-hour playthrough. You don't got that amount of time to get people hooked. You just don't. And making it in parts is not always the answer, man. Sometimes you're just trying to stretch too much story out of too little material. Take, for example, Peter Jackson's decision to split the Hobbit film. I don't know if it was ultimately his decision, but the films were split into 3. The Hobbit. The Hobbit is a book that is shorter than any of the 3 books that The Lord of the Rings is based on. And there's 3 Lord of the Rings movies. He didn't want to do The Hobbit an injustice by not covering everything that needed to be covered, but he tried to mitigate that by splitting it up into 3 films, and really all it ended up doing was dragging the films out, adding a bunch of surreptitious shit that didn't need to be there. it's not always the answer to cut up a movie into chunks. That's why it's not always the answer to make a fucking movie about an intellectual property. That's just the truth. It's not the way that Hollywood looks at it. Hollywood thinks that it's their duty to make a fucking movie about every goddamn thing anybody's ever been interested in. But in reality, there are just some properties that shouldn't be made into films. They don't translate well. Oh man, yeah, the reboot of Judge Dredd. For those people in here that were saying, oh yeah, reboots always suck and shit, there's an example of one that took the original movie, which is kind of fucking silly, and just made a kick-ass action flick out of it. The reboot is, in my opinion, way better than the original. Way fucking better. The TV series worries me a little bit. Yeah, I'd like to play the Call of Cthulhu game. I fucking watched one of the Let's Players that I like to watch, Kikoskia. I watched him play through that game, and it was pretty fucking awesome. They're both based off the comics, and the big thing that pissed off the Judge Dredd fans in the 90s was that it wasn't a Judge Dredd film. It was just standalone, being Stallone. Yeah, well, yeah, it's pretty poopy. Are you still going to be doing Highdeology during the hiatus? Yeah, man. I'm not going any. I'm not. Yeah, I'll be around. I'll be busy, but I'll be around. Taking a successful movie and turning it into a show is another bad Hollywood decision. Not always. But yeah, I actually have a lot of hope for series, because I've seen now so many really good ones coming out of these different development places. Like we see Netflix doing its own shows. We see HBO has always done its own shows, but I really like that format, and I don't really mind trying the format when it comes to reboots for films and stuff. Like, it doesn't, for me, it doesn't ruin the original work when people make a shitty reboot or remake. So ultimately, it's kind of pointless to argue about. If somebody makes a shit-ass film, and it's a reboot, and it sucks in comparison to the original, then just don't go see it. It doesn't change the original. It doesn't denigrate the original in any way. It's still there. If you're not willing to adopt that line of thinking, then you're going to be really disappointed going forward, because they got no plans to stop remaking classical shit. So, speaking of classical shit, classical music is back. So let me just go ahead and put the stream back in slow mode, because the autist is back, and he definitely will not stop. He will not stop. He shall not stop until I put the shit in slow mode. Yep. There we go. Now classical music has to put his lambdas every 15 seconds. Should clean up your streams friends list one of these days. And what's this hiatus you speak of? What are you talking about, my streams friends list? And the hiatus I speak of is that there won't be an episode of Drunken Peasants until next Wednesday. Steve's friend. Oh, yeah, I've got a lot of people on that list, and I don't know how much more cleaning I can do. Who will win the live streams of tonight? TJ or Paul? Who knows, dude? It ain't a competition, though. It ain't a competition. I know Paul makes my wiener melt. Does that mean I give you the opposite of a boner? I make your boner go away? That's fucked up. Even if it's true, that's a fucked up thing to tell a person. That you make their boner, like, disappear. You're so fucking ugly. You must really hate me, homie. You must really hate me. My favorite Rick and Morty episode. I haven't watched enough Rick and Morty to have a favorite episode, to be completely honest with you. Do I have enough to pack a bowl in here? Probably not. I will open up some more of this bubble gum. Somebody wanted me to take a rip on the bong, and that sounds nice. I'll pack one. Let's pack a bowl. Best way to deal with stoner paranoia. Try a different strain or something. I don't know. If you're smoking a strain that's making you really paranoid and shit, try and find one that doesn't. Man, why they put these little jars inside these they put the labels over the fucking seal of the jar. Probably to make it hard for people to fucking get into. But goddamn it, I bought the weed, man. I want to get into the weed. I can't smoke the weed if I can't get into it. I've just gotta fucking tear chunks of this fucking thing away until it will let me open the jar, for fuck's sake. Poopy weed. Brett Keane has a Discord, yes. Unfortunately, he do. Oh, you want to come in and hang out with me in my Discord situation? Of course, I'll ban you if you say anything fucking that hair lips me immediately. I only let sycophants hang out in my fucking Discord situation. Oh boy. You're banned within seconds of going on Brett's Discord. Oh yeah, dude, it's not a hard thing. It's not a hard thing to get done to you. He's pretty much ready to immediately ban anybody that walks in there. What's the deal with you and Keen? I saw videos of you playing WoW with him. Did you guys used to be friends? Friends is kind of stretching the term. I guess we used to be casually cordial acquaintances at one point. I've gone back several times and attempted to smooth things over with Brett. To be honest with you, most of the times that I've done it in the recent past have been to try and further some understanding of the Brett Keane cycle, and those WoW videos that you're talking about were basically one of those. He was going through one of his manatee phases where he's trying to make amends with old people that he's fucked off, and he tried to reach out to me, and I don't even remember how it ended up happening. It might have happened after 166. In fact, I think that's when it did happen. After episode 166, he somehow invited me to play some World of Warcraft with him, and he streamed it for a while. Can Brett break his cycle? I mean, he can. All it would take is for him to, be honest and introspective for a little while and make a genuine choice to change his ways. He won't. That's the difference. Can, but he won't. So the answer is no. The only thing he reaches for is his vapor. That is true. And he doesn't even do that if he doesn't have to. He prefers Dorn bring him the vapor. Dan Aykroyd also said that aliens didn't contact us because of 9/11. Man, I'm glad that you're letting me know what Dan Aykroyd's up to, bro. Because I was starting to lose track of that Dan Aykroyd shit. I think Brett is what I call a contagious self-defeater based on what I've seen. He just seems so chronically depressed. I don't know. He said he suffers from depression, but he said he suffers from agoraphobia too. I don't know if the manatee is depressed. I don't know what comes out of him is real or fake. Galen says he thinks you're passive-aggressive, fallacious, and not intellectual in a comment based on experiences with you in person. I don't know. Well, I know that I've never met Galen in person, and I've had very, very limited interaction with Galen not in person. But Galen is known to say lots of shit about lots of things. That's fine. That's fine for him to think that. I still like Galen. Dinor is watching you, human. Yes. 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 Yeah, Galen do what Galen do. Yeah, dude, Dinor's pretty adorable. Dogs are unclean. Shut the fuck up, dude. Just shut the fuck up. Never seen you live. Wanted to say hi, Paul. Was just watching some DP. Cool, man. We're in a Google Hangout with Pimp Monk. He always gives what? Pimp Monk shit too. I think it's how he is. Yeah. I mean, he gives TJ shit. He's actually friends with TJ. Like, I follow Galen on Twitter, and every once in a while I'll see this giant tirade that he's going on against TJ. It's like, whatever. Whatever you say, bro. You are the first and only person I am subscribed to as of today. That's cool, man. Thank you for that. I'm not doing a hiatus. The show is going on hiatus. Why is not any of your fucking concern. I've singed my eyelashes before. Okay. Wish me luck through the 3-hour ceremony. Oh, you got a graduation today? Dude, enjoy that pomp and circumstance, dude. There will be no shows until next Wednesday. It is a brief hiatus in shows. Do you have any meth stories? Not really. You're my favorite peasant. Oh, well, thank you. It's nice to get a ball washing now and again. Yeah, here's a meth story. Don't do meth, exactly. There's your meth story. Don't try meth. Do you advise starting weed? I don't advise people to start anything. Start it if you want to. Don't if you don't. Don't come to me for fucking... Like, why would I fucking care whether a person starts doing a drug or not? It is up to that person. What's the angriest you've been at the other peasants? I don't know. I've been angry with each of them at some point. You don't work as closely with people as I work with those guys and not get angry at them. Some of that anger is played out on the show with some of them. I've been pissed off at TJ on the show before. I've been pissed off at Ben on the show before. I don't really get angry with Scotty on the show. I'm sure he and I have argued a few times privately about shit, and I've been angry about it. But nothing memorable. Why do I smoke weed? Primarily I smoke weed because it helps to balance out a chaotic mental state. It's one of the only medicines that I've tried that intercedes in any meaningful way in both my depression and anxiety. During times of really, really intense depression or anxiety, it can allow me to function on a level that I'm just not capable of functioning without treatment. And yes, it gets me high. So, why is it when you first started on the show, we didn't see you get salty and see this other side of you so much? It seems like now you're always uptight. Is it an act? I really don't see myself as an uptight person, and the reason that you saw other aspects of my personality after I'd been on the show for a long time is because when I was a guest, you got me in 1.5, 2 hour bursts every once in a blue moon. I hope that clears that up. If I could do those things without weed, wouldn't that make me a stronger person? Yeah, I guess if I could do those things without weed, it would make me a stronger person. The problem is that I suffer from a mental illness, and you can't will yourself out of a mental illness. It's a chemical imbalance in your brain. You can't just get in the right mindset. You know what I mean? It's not a matter of personal strength when you're dealing with some kind of fucking dysfunction in your brain, which is the seat of your consciousness. So strength really doesn't come into it. It's not like a willpower issue like losing weight is for most people. It's not a matter of stick-to-itiveness like getting a better job is for most people. It's something that has to be fucking mitigated in one way or another. If anything, weed puts me in the right mindset. I don't want to die when I'm high. I want to get out and enjoy my time. Yeah, dude. I feel that way more often on weed than I do without it. When I'm not medicated in any way, when I'm not high, I have a tendency to not want to go and do anything. Now, weed sometimes can't force that in me, but it certainly makes me way more open to the prospects of getting out and about, going out and having fun. Unmedicated, I just don't really want to go anywhere. I want to curl up in a fucking ball. I mean, that's really the end result of me not being medicated, not being treated at all, is I end up an absolute mess of a person. I get so twisted up in my own little world that I don't want to leave my fucking bed. I don't want to get out of bed. If left to my fucking own devices, I'll just lay in bed all day and all night and all day and all night, getting up only to fucking, maybe eat a handful of food and take a shit every once in a while. And that's just the end of a long, slow, degrading fucking descent towards that. It's just, it's one of those things. I know how I am. I'm old enough now, and I've lived enough years in my skin, and I've spent enough years in therapy learning about how my brain works to know how I am when I'm unmedicated. And it's not a good thing. It's just not. Which guest felt the most natural to interact with, almost like a fifth peasant? Jeff Holiday felt really cool to interact with. Billy the Fridge, even though his appearance was marred by kayfabe in the eyes of some of our fans anyway, I still really enjoyed doing that episode and thought it was pretty funny. But, the fans have spoken. I thought Billy the Fridge was really fucking personable, really cool to chill with, and was really quick and good in the moment. So I'd say maybe those couple of people. When it comes to like fitting the tone and the mood of the show, any chance of getting Billy back? I don't know, man. I don't know if we could sell him on coming back. He got a lot of backlash for that appearance and shit, and I don't think Billy wanted all of that. But I'd love to have Billy back as just a straight up guest, sit down on the couch and chill with us and smoke and drink and talk shit. That'd be fun. Does being married help the feelings of being antisocial? I really wonder. For me, it didn't. I mean, I'm not a super antisocial person by design, but my illness makes me very antisocial. It makes me not want to be around people, and that did not exclude my spouse. Are you part Romanian? Not to my knowledge, although I don't really know what I am in terms of ancestry. I have some vague stories from my parents about, my mom says Ireland, which I think is kind of obvious. My dad says France and Germany for his ancestry. I don't know what that's backed with. So, those are the three places I've heard. I plan to do one of those genetic tests and find out what I actually am. But I'd be shocked. The only thing I'd be shocked not to see on there is heavily Irish. Because I do have a way more evidence for my Irish ancestry than any of the other things I mentioned. You probably have Jew in your body. Yeah, dude. All of the other peasants have at least 1% Ashkenazi Jew, dude. Or Ashkenazi, or whatever they say it is. Ashkenazi Jew. They're all 1%ers, dude. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I am. Yeah, I guess if we all have 1%, we could change the name of the show to the Ashkenazis, dude. Yeah, we're 4% Jew, dude. That's got to be enough to be Hebrewized, right? We'll move the show to Israel, smoke some of that dank-ass Israeli weed. You look like you could be a rabbi. You've been to temple before. Okay, I look like a rabbi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu. I don't know that I could do that. I follow any sports or certain sport teams. The sport that I follow closest is American football, and the sport team I most identify with is they're going to be the Las Vegas Raiders in the future. Now the Oakland Raiders, formerly the LA Raiders, and formerly the Oakland Raiders, and formerly the LA Raiders again. I like the Raiders. They're really the only team that I can see myself blindly being a fan of, no matter what the circumstances, for the rest of my life. Other sports teams that I have been into, I was into basketball in high school. I followed basketball pretty closely. I was a Charlotte Hornets fan during the Alonzo Mourning, Muggsy Bogues, Larry Johnson era. I've got a big fucking collection of basketball cards. I've got at least a couple of sets from the 90s, full sets of Fleer basketball cards, with all the foils and shit. I've got them stashed away here somewhere. I don't really follow basketball anymore. I don't really have a team that I'm going for in basketball. I'm just not really interested in it anymore. See, outside of the Raiders, which I really didn't have I didn't have a choice in that. I was just it was drilled into me. My parents were Raiders fans. My Uncle Dean was just like the most rabid Raiders fan ever, and it was just kind of ordained that I would also be a Raiders fan. But outside of that, I've always gotten into teams because of a player or a group of players on that team. I liked the Giants because I really liked watching Will Clark play. I thought he was a really just amazing player to watch. So I became a Giants fan because I liked watching him. Don't really follow baseball anymore either. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you. Fuck me. Fuck you, motherfucker. Have you seen Wonder Woman? It's surprisingly good. It was really good, man. One of the best movies I've seen this year. The only movie that I've seen this year where the audience was engaged. It was weird being in a theater where people were laughing and oohing and awing and really, engaged in the movie as a group viewing. Most movies I go to these days are just fucking solemn and quiet. So it was nice to see that. Positive Smash was really nice and really awesome, and I'd love to have her on the show again. I thought you hadn't seen Wonder Woman. I saw it yesterday. I watched it yesterday with Ashley. Trailer Park Boys is from here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Okay, cool, man. Have I gained one friend from this section? From the comments section? Yeah. My friend Sam who was started as a just comment section dude or person, just like fucking trolling my Periscope streams and shit. And now she and I are buddies. She's in the Discord all the time, still trolling. But like when I was less famous, yeah, I made friends with a person from the comment section, and we were friends for a very long time. We're unfortunately no longer friends, but that is what it is. Very close friends with that person for a number of years, and met him right in the comment section of one of my streams. Did I steal his girl? No. He was a gay guy, so there was no girl to steal. Do I believe in love? I believe in believing in love. I don't know that I believe in that general concept of love. That kind of like sappy thing. But I believe that there is something to it. I believe it's a little deeper and a little harder to put your finger on than kind of how we culturally look at love. But I think that love is ultimately something that's really dependent on your willingness to believe in it. You've got to be willing to accept its irrationality. And if you're not, then maybe love doesn't exist for you. There is something really inherently irrational about love as a feeling. And that makes it pretty dangerous, because it gets thrown around a lot. It gets thrown around a whole lot in this society. The word love has almost become synonymous with the word commitment, and love is not a commitment, as I understand it. People want to hear that love word because it implies that that person is committed to them. But it doesn't mean that that person is committed to doing the right things for them. It doesn't even really mean that that person is committed to them. Love is irrational and not based on that. It's not based on commitment. It's based on an intensely personal, momentary, moment-to-moment feeling. And that's the truth, at least as I understand it. So, I personally always had a hard time believing the phrase, there was someone out there for you. Yeah, because it's total bullshit. I mean, there is no one out there for you. Okay? Like, there's not some person that's just destined to be your mate or whatever the fuck. Everything about that is dependent upon you, not them. You've got to go find a person that you're compatible with. That's not a person out there for you. That's an opportunity out there for you to possibly find the person, but there's no guarantee in that. That's why love is like this kind of like, some people want to treat it like it's the law of the universe, like it's commensurate with gravity or some shit. You know, you'll hear even skeptical people say, man, yeah, what we need is love, man. We need to replace, like the whole Bernie thing had love in there. You know what I mean? Like Bernie's whole fucking message campaign was love, love, love. And it's just like, no, man, I don't want love from my fucking politicians. I'm sorry. But the way I understand love, I'm not sure I want it from anybody. I guess I'm lucky to have it from people. But fuck, man. It's not this eternal, steady, undying force that everybody likes to pretend it is. It's a wild and fickle thing. And I don't want that for my fucking politicians. Thank you very much. If two people are in a relationship and love each other, but one of them cheated on the other once, should that one tell this to the other so the relationship can continue? I mean, it depends, right? That depends on so many fucking different factors. Like, how does the person that cheated personally feel about cheating? Are they racked with guilt every day? Are they, do they feel that they've somehow betrayed their partner in a way that causes them to feel detached from that person? Or is the person that cheated capable of looking at that incident as just a sexual encounter that meant nothing in the context of their relationship, and rationalize away their need to know about it? And people deserve honesty. Well, not everybody deserves honesty, because not everybody's honest, right? But I guess people can seek honesty. Saying that people deserve it is, how do you quantify that? I just tried that. My last girlfriend dumped you 3 times, so okay. It's kind of like respect. Yeah, but people don't deserve respect either. Respect is earned, right? Joe Blow on the street. Yeah, okay, right. I'm not talking about total lack of respect. I'm not talking about, you have this modicum of general social respect but I'm talking about, like, respect beyond that. Respect beyond that day-to-day, you're a human, I'm a human, going about our business type of shit that we all agree to do as part of our societal contract. Nobody deserves respect outside of that. Not from me. No. You earn your respect from me, and I expect to do the same from you. Or not. It seems like you want to be likable, but also not likable at the same time. I want to be just who I am. And however that comes off to you is your own fucking cross to bear. One of the things I love about this job is that it doesn't require me to operate outside of myself. I'm allowed to be myself during the course of my job. And that's what I'm shooting for, because that's a rare thing. So how you perceive me is interesting, I guess, to you, but it doesn't really interest me all that much. Honesty is different than respect. If telling someone the truth gets someone hurt, sure, lie, but lying for personal gain at the expense of others is shitty. Okay, so what about that? What about taking it back to that original hypothetical then? You're talking about a one-off sexual encounter that happened, that, there were no consequences of it. It was just a fucking orgasm, right? I mean, some people are able to compartmentalize sex like that. And you've got a partner who loves you very much, who would be absolutely fucking devastated if they found out that you fucked another person. So is lying to spare that partner's feelings an inherently selfish act still, because you're also preserving the relationship? Human relationships are fucking complex, man. It's not black and white. And so to make an absolutist statement like everyone deserves the truth, well, I just can't agree. The problem is, you say you put on a performance, so you fake emotions. Everything is scripted. All right, well, I don't know how you infer everything is scripted from a performance, but let me try and explain it to you, and then I'm just not going to answer you anymore. The Drunken Peasants is a performance in the sense that I'm aware, and the other guys on the show are aware that there are 100,000 plus people watching us. And that means that we have to have a certain acumen about, maintaining a level of funniness, maintaining a level of engagement that maybe otherwise we wouldn't with a piece of media, and trying to find and wring out those funny little things out of it. That means maintaining a sense of pacing so that people don't get bored with us watching this one thing for too long. That does not mean that things are scripted. That does not mean that in those times that I'm reacting to those videos with that awareness, that I'm reacting in a way that I wouldn't normally. That doesn't mean that I'm pretending to be something that I'm not, that I'm putting on an emotion that I wouldn't otherwise normally have. You have a fundamental misunderstanding of what a performance is. If you're in a relationship, you need to be 100% honest and trust your partner 100% of being honest, or your relationship is doomed to fail. Well, there's another silly fucking statement. There are marriages that last fucking 50, 60 years that are built on lies. Your marriage is not doomed to fail due to dishonesty. Your marriage is doomed to fail by one thing, and that's incompatibility. If you want something out of life, out of your circumstances, that is contrary to what the person that you're with wants out of their life and their circumstances, that will doom your marriage. Dishonesty is not a death sentence in a fucking marriage. It just isn't. The problem with your hypothetical is that whether or not she's devastated about you cheating on her doesn't mean that now you get to decide where the moral line begins and ends. The moral line is what we're talking about. If this was a one-off sexual encounter, let's put it there again, that you know carried no emotional weight and carried no deleterious effects for you in your current relationship, and you also know that the person that you're with would be absolutely crushed and devastated to know that you cheated on them, then are you morally obligated to tell her or not tell her? You know, which side of that moral compass is the one that you lean harder towards? I don't know. But I'm not going to stand in judgment of other people for not knowing as well. You said that this channel was yet another style of performance. You literally contradicted yourself. I can tell what you're doing now. It's clearly not fluid or truly real. You wear many masks. You're on to me, Gula. This guy's fucking weird. If dramas have taught me anything, she'll find out later and be even more mad. Well, maybe she will, maybe she won't. People have a lot of preconceptions about what happens in relationships, and a lot of it is based on bullshit that they heard in movies, that they read in books. Okay? Relationships don't work that way, guys. I mean, I'm not telling everybody as if you don't know, but for those out there that seem to be confused, there's no black and white. There's no easy fucking blueprint for a relationship. It requires a lot of different compromises and a lot of different adjustments in order to make work. And even then, oftentimes they just don't. There's no right way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it, because there's no two people with the same type of brain. There's no two people out there that are psychologically exactly the same. Everybody comes with their own little set of baggage to every relationship. And those things are variables that you just can't fucking account for when you're making predictions about how shit'll turn out for people, and what will or won't work in a relationship, and what will or won't signify the fucking death knell of a relationship. It just ain't that way. You're stating the truth. So wait a minute. Your perception that I'm being some big fakey McFakerton right now at fucking 3:36 in the morning, stoned off my ass, is now the truth? Holy shit, dude. Can I stop addressing this drama? It's getting irksome. I mean, I'm sorry it's getting irksome, but he's a person that's in here. That being said, I do plan on not addressing him any further, because I think he's clearly trolling. What is your favorite Call of Cthulhu themed movie, and what is your favorite Call of Cthulhu story? Well, my favorite Cthulhu mythos book is The Dunwich Horror. As far as movies go, I don't really know that I feel that. I guess In the Mouth of Madness, which is not directly a Cthulhu film, although it just borrows heavily from Lovecraftian horror. It's really kind of a quirky film from the 90s. It's a lot of fun. Which one of Pingpong's 3 balls is your favorite? The middle one, dude. The middle ball. I've seen Dagon. I'm not a huge fan. Have you seen the Hellboy movies? And have you heard that they're rebooting it? I have seen the Hellboy movies. I really enjoyed them, which makes it a little scary for me that they are rebooting them, because once again, it's very, very soon after the last Hellboy movies to be doing a full reboot. And the last 2 Hellboy movies, I think, are just really good start to finish. I guess we'll see. My favorite Lovecraft short is The Color Out of Space. Such an interesting concept. Just a weird shapelessness mass of strange color that fell from space. Yeah, I mean, I love pretty much. I just love the way Lovecraft used language. I loved his obsession with really weird, arcane words. You know what I mean? These words that, like, even wordy people don't know. You know, reading a Lovecraft story for the first time can be a little frustrating, because I find myself bouncing back and forth to the fucking dictionary a lot. But once you learn what the words mean and go back and give it another read, you see the beauty in the language. The idea of love being the answer to our problems can be said in a very simplistic and vague way, but people being more understanding of each other is why our world is crumbling. I mean, I don't know that I believe that either. Should Lovecraft be used in English and literature class as an alternative to Shakespeare? I don't know if he's an alternative to Shakespeare, but certainly using some of his shorter works to introduce students to new and exciting ways to think about language, I think would be a really good idea. Lovecraft was also an irredeemable racist who once wrote that he wanted to slaughter a score of Jews on the New York subway. Oh no. Man, I'm just not able to separate Lovecraft's personal bullshit from his art, man. I don't know. I'm gonna have a fucking meltdown about this, guys. Any favorite animes? I mean, I know this is pretty cliche, but I liked Attack on Titan a whole lot. I just recently got done watching Madoka Magica with Ashley, and I really enjoyed it. So those are a couple. Everybody always asking about anime, man. Why you look like a faggot? Why you look like a faggot, boy? That's the question I wants to ask you. I've been sitting here listening, and I've been sitting here wondering, why do you look like a faggot? Huh? Which of the Lord of the Rings movies do you enjoy the most? I don't know, man. My favorite moments in them, in the movies, almost all happen in The Return of the King. So it'd be hard to pick one other than that. I really love them all, though, man. The first one is so great because I love just how, the introduction to all of the characters and the introduction to the Shire and the story and all of that is just so, I don't know, it's just really done well. I don't know. It's hard to choose. Do a blowjob, Paul. Why is TJ salty about you getting more views when he bans people for making jokes about him during the stream? What? I don't know that he's salty about me getting more views. Would you consider vegetarianism or veganism? I've actually done veganism for extended periods of time in the past. I don't know that I would do it again. It's just hard to maintain for me. It's just very, very hard to supplement meat out of my diet using only those. I mean, I tried. And I certainly found a lot of really tasty things that you can eat, but a brother needs meat, man. I'm sorry. I got that carnivore shit. Vegan? Yeah, I couldn't do vegan. Any thoughts on vegan gains? No. Nobody wants to watch a segmented freak smoking cigarettes. Well, some people do. Clearly. Cigarettes. TJ, would you rather fuck corpse midget and actual dead midget? Why are you asking me a TJ question? Why'd you call me TJ? Why'd you preface that with TJ? Dropped about 35 pounds, pimp. Oh, damn. Congratulations, man. That's a significant chunk of weight, my friend. I'm gonna take a bong rip to celebrate Pimp Monk on the road to fucking health. Baconism. Still a fat fuck, but you're getting there. Me too, man. I'm on the same journey. I'm still fat as fuck. I'm just trying to head down instead of up. Do I regret not voting for Hillary? No, not at all. I remember reading that in the future, if the population keeps expanding as it is, we're going to have to resort to have a more vegan diet. Either that or we're going to have to get over our aversion to eating insects, because I've heard that that's a possible future plan for a food source there. Insects are really easy to farm and really abundant and rich in protein, so it's like we need to get over our bug phobia, dude. Start eating some fucking mealworms and shit. seasoned crickets and they ain't bad. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. Hillary needs to be deported off the planet. Wow, man. That's a strong stance you've taken. They eat bugs in sub-Saharan Africa. They eat bugs in South America. They eat bugs in a lot of places. Bugs are on the menu in a lot more places than you would imagine across the globe. Just not very often here in America. What do you mean Hillary will be completely senile in a couple of years? She's already fucking totally senile. Why are you unshaven? Why? This man doesn't drag a bunch of blades across his skin every day to maintain a baby smooth face. Why? I love that just like my existence is confusing. Why? Whatever, man. Your face is grotesque. I fucking agree. I know you're trolling and trying to be hurtful and shit, but I totally fucking agree. Oh, man. You a real one. Thanks, Large March. Paul, trying to grow a beard. How do you deal with that insane itch at the start? Dude, you gotta here, you can soothe the itch. Here's what the itch is. The itch is your skin drying out and shit. So what you need to do is get some product and start putting it on your skin, like some moisturizer and shit. Now you can buy beard balm that's specifically made to be rubbed into your beard hair, help a little bit with the itch, but to a certain extent, you just gotta push through it. Once you get, a certain amount of length on the beard, the itchiness basically goes away. I every once in a while will get a little beard itch and shit. But 99% of the time, it's just feels kind of nice, dude. It feels like having. Yeah, I was telling people early in one of my earlier streams that it like having longer hair and the longer beard feels like you've got like a nice coat around your head all the time. It feels like you're constantly being hugged by poofy, warm hair. Using products? Shameful. Really? Because anybody that's got a beard as long as me or longer that isn't using beard oil, if you scratch their fucking chin, their fucking whole front will be covered in flakes, dude. That's how beard drift happens. So, if you want beard dandruff happening, then don't put beard oil in your beard. I'm woke because, I don't know, dude. It takes me a while to wind down for sleep. You ever get food stuck in it? Sometimes. I mean, every once in a while, but I've gotten really adept at eating around the beard, man. You just gotta keep a napkin handy. You know. Well, thank you guys for chilling tonight. I'm gonna go lay down.